Hey guys, Justin Morgan here. Sorry I keep coming to you guys in my car, but life's just been a little bit hectic lately. Got a lot going on with work. I've got three separate types of income coming in right now with different projects that I'm doing between personal training, working at a normal job, and I still am teaching music. But that's not what I'm talking to you today about. I wanted to give you guys an update on how this protein experiment is going. Last time I told you I'd set up the experiment really well, following the same weightlifting program, 9-week program that run the same program twice, so a total of 18 weeks altogether, and doing it on two different percentages of protein intake. So one, keeping the caloric intake exactly the same during both scenarios, and I have just really screwed it up. Well, the first thing that happened was the strongman competition. I'm having to add in a lot of accessory movements that are just a little bit different to program in. It's not horribly difficult, but there's definitely a learning curve to it with the fatigue and the toll that it takes on your body, in addition to following just a conventional powerlifting, or really I'm not following a powerlifting program right now, but just a normal weightlifting program. So there is that factored in, that it just really isn't working. Now the second thing is that during the second 9 weeks I've got a vacation scheduled, and that is definitely making it difficult to keep consistency, since I know that I'm probably not going to be working out at least 2 days out of the cycle. So there's that. The third thing is, I recently, because of several of those things, I thought, well, I'll just go ahead and do the higher protein intake now. And so I did start on that, and I was going to give you guys an update on that. So I went up to the 120 to 150. I don't think I've actually made it to 150 grams of protein in a day, but I've kept it above 120 fairly easily. Just eating, well, I'm still eating a considerable amount of my calories from fruit, so they are my primary carbohydrate source. But the one, so that's going to keep it, somewhat limited. I could move to all beans, peas, lentils, and some of the grains like the quinoa and whatever, and definitely get well above 150 grams. But I just haven't really wanted to do that per se. So the other thing, it's just making it really difficult to get consistent numbers. Now the other thing that I was going to mention is that I actually got sick. My daughter, the school called, and I guess like at a school of less than 500 kids, they had like 24 kids or 20-some kids come home sick with some kind of, they were throwing up, and my youngest daughter was one of those. So brought her home. She was fine throughout most of the day, and then I was taking her back to school to pick up my other two kids, and she hurled all over my car. The car that I'm driving in right now, actually. So I spent some time cleaning that up, and I was cleaning up after her and taking care of her. Well, I never actually threw up, but I ended up with having some of the same problems with my stomach, and whatever she had, I think I got it too. So, although like I said, I wasn't really throwing up or anything, but so that definitely made it difficult. I still was able to hit my numbers in terms of the lifting program I'm on, even though I was sick. So, I mean, that's good. But in terms of how I feel, and if the increased protein intake is having any bearing on muscle gains right now, it's really almost going to be hard to say. I almost feel like I should just throw the whole thing out. Maybe I'll continue on the higher protein intake for now, and see if I have any subjective opinions. The great thing about the way I had it set up before was it was very objective. You could look at the numbers, look at the progression from you know, the numbers and see if the percentages changed with each other, and get really objective, concrete kind of numbers based on one person. You know, of course, that's only one person. Actual studies are done on, you know, groups of at least 30, maybe 100 or more people, and it really gives you a good idea. It gives you something to work with. With just one person, you know, that you really don't get that, but still yet it would have given me personally something to look at that I could have shared with you. And unfortunately now I don't even know that you really have that. It's just a very subjective opinion. So that's what's going on with that. I apologize. You know, there's just life. You know, there's just certain circumstances within that I don't exactly have a ton of control over. So I will give you guys more updates as I go through the program and as I prepare for the strongman competition, which is going really well. I'm going to get back with you guys on some ideas on how I'm programming that in and how it may be of interest to you for conditioning and things that I haven't necessarily thought of before in relationship to strongman. So you guys take it easy, and I will talk back at you real soon.